Alright, another Jace deck basically. It's Goryo's Vengeance through the Breach with Jace in it these days. I keep my opening hand because I have a bridge in the opener and I got 3 mana for it. The rest of the hand I feel pretty confident will help me survive. It just so happens that my opponent's on Goryo's Vengeance, which is great because I have the cage in my opening. Yeah, opponent takes a mulligan. They got Breach and Grizzle, and they have Jace to discard it. I don't know what they put on top, but yeah, I go ahead and Stirrings immediately. Don't know what my opponent's on, but I'm just trying to do a turn 1 play. Now, in hindsight, as soon as I did it, I was like, oh man, I should have played Grafdigger's Cage, because if they have a discard spell and they grab Grafdigger's Cage, then my Glimmer Voids are worthless. But at that point, I was already on autopilot and I played it. So it was incorrect. And fortunately, they did not have discard. So, future reference. So, Lantern, I see what they're on. I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I'm going to play the cage anyways. Yeah, there's Jace. Now, fortunately, I can play both Thoughtseize and Decay in the same turn. I could see an argument being made for Grizzlebrand, but I decided to grab Through the Breach instead. I worry about the argument for Grizzlebrand is if they could hardcast it. Whereas Through the Breach, eventually they're going to get one of these guys into play, and if they get Grizzlebrand into play, they can just draw a whole bunch of cards, and Through the Breach will do it quicker. So I only have 2 Thoughtseize, so the chances of me drawing the second Thoughtseize to get the second Grizzlebrand is extremely unlikely. So my plan here is to play the bridge. I'm good. Now, opponent knows that I have Brutality coming up, and I know the opponent has Jace in hand, so. They see a bridge. They didn't know about the other bridge that I had in my opener. So play the second bridge, and I'm just holding Brutality. I plan on holding Brutality for the Jace, because it's going to be sick, so. Yeah. I need old Tasigur here, because I didn't want my opponent to be able to delve and force me to give them back something they want. So. I could have named Grizzlebrand as well, but or Jace, but I wasn't too worried about Jace since I had the Brutality. So they go ahead and Through the Breach Grizzlebrand now and start trying to draw a whole bunch of cards. Fortunately, it appears they don't really have much of an answer against Bridge, so they're really relying on Jace here to win the game for them. So I Lantern myself because I know what they're probably going to try to do with this Jace and Lily. Yeah, go for the discard mode, get the looting, that way they count looting into more. And my plan now is when they go to do Jace or Lily, I'm just going to whir for a Witchbane. Yeah. So I go whir for Witchbane. Yeah, Jace is fine. They can draw a whole bunch of cards. They're fate sealing themselves here instead. Now what they could have done, they can right click on library and put to bottom, but apparently they didn't know that, so they brought it to the battlefield and then put it to bottom. Yeah, and they realize they cannot win through Witchbane and Bridge. They have no answers to it. Their only out was Lily and Jace, and neither of them are going to answer through Witchbane. So, game 2. Let's see. It's a decent hand. I have double discard, I have Bridge, and I have Witchbane. They do have a pretty decent hand, though, with the Gorios and the looting. So, it is worrisome. They accidentally play the wrong land first, and I let them take it back, of course. So, Thoughtseize, see what they got. I'm like, oh, it's no good. My plan here is I know that I can kill the Jaces. So I wasn't really sure about what to discard here. My plan was, all right, I'll discard their looting, if I remember correctly, and then I'll just kill the Jace. I don't remember. Maybe I did. Or maybe I'll just let them looting. I don't even remember anymore. This is yesterday, too. My memory is shot. Okay. Yeah, because they looting, whatever they draw, I can hopefully just discard. Now, them not playing the Jace here lets me know that they have a discard spell, or a counter spell or something, most likely. So, there wasn't a whole lot I could do about it, but whatever. So, Angoria's Vengeance, go to flip Jace. Now, fortunately, I can kill that flip Jace with a Decay. But it does mean that they now have in their hand a combo. So I need to, I need to Brutality next turn to get rid of that Vengeance. I don't remember if I did. Oh no, because I decayed Jace. Yeah. So what I needed to do there to survive is to Brutality and pick that Vengeance out of their hand. Now I know that they scryed with the Serum Visions, so that's why I did the Pixis. Unfortunately now, here they go. Yep, I'm like, okay, I'll take 15 and go to 3 and sack all my permanents. It's fine. And I still have Bridge in hand, I just needed to top deck 3 lands. Jace, don't get a second land. But now I do get a second land, so I'm able to Brutality. I think it was probably correct to Brutality in discard mode here, but I was afraid that they had an instant or sorcery. Or they had a counter. And I didn't want to lose that card advantage. So they are able to top deck and through the breach. So if I had Brutality escalate, then I would have been okay there. So game 3. Opponent has Leylines in the opener, and I keep mine, I believe. Yeah. Now it is unfortunate about the Thoughtseize, but I'm happy about the Bell. I only run 3 Shredder, so that means Leylines aren't as painful for me as they are for the decks that run 4 Shredder and 2 Pixis. So what I'm going for here is I know that they have Griselbrand in the graveyard. So it doesn't matter if I mill, another Griselbrand in the graveyard. What I'm trying to do is mill an Emrakul into their graveyard, and then it just ruins their whole plan. So that's why I milled at the end of my opponent's turn. I hit it Whir, but oh well. I was thinking about during draw, because I was afraid that they had a Goryo's Vengeance and try to hit an Emrakul, but didn't happen. Now they scryed 1 to the top, so I go ahead and again Bell. It was a Vengeance, but I do still have to worry. So yeah, here I go ahead and play this, and what I'm hoping for is to whir at instant speed if I really need to. It all depends on what the opponent has. So I knew they had lilies in the deck, and I knew they have Jace. So I was thinking about possibly having to either decay the lily or Whir for Needle for Jace. Thoughtseize isn't going to help me anyways. No, I let them go ahead and discard a card for Lily because I'm going to kill it anyways with Decay. And crap balls. No, there we go. There it is. So what I do is I do end up milling the Emrakul into the graveyard, and it shuffles the graveyard back. So that helps me a ton. So now my plan is, Whir and get Lantern, and now I have the lock. Their only answer is try to get through the breach. And Jace is decent too, but yeah, there's an Emrakul. Not worried about it. I mean, I figured if they have through the breach, then they have through the breach. And this is where I'm just kind of risking it. I'm like, well, I mean, if they got it, they got it. But since they didn't through the breach there, that lets me know that they have. I know about the Emrakul, so I know that they got nothing, and I'm good to go. I go ahead and mill that. I'm not worried about Griselbrand. They can hard cast it now, but I have a Stirrings coming up, and opponent concedes. So